This book is called Fluffy Goes Apple Picking by Kate McMullen and illustrated by Mavis Smith. Fluffy Goes Apple Picking. The first chapter is called I Love Apples. School was almost over for the day. Fluffy was napping. We will have a picnic tomorrow, Miss Day told her class. When we go apple picking, everyone called. That woke Fluffy up. Apples, he thought. I love apples. We will go into an orchard, said Miss Day. We will see hundreds of apple trees and thousands of apples. Thousands, thought Fluffy. His eyes grew wide. Who knew there were that many apples? We will pick apples from the apple tree, said Miss Day. Then what will we do with some of the apples? Eat them, everyone called. Oh, yum, thought Fluffy. I love apples. Miss Day, said Wade, can Fluffy come apple picking too? Can he? Thought Fluffy. Can I? Please? Of course he can, said Miss Day. Fluffy loves apples. Right, thought Fluffy. I-L-O-V-E, apples. Just then, Lena from Mr. Lee's class came through the door. She was holding Kiss. Kiss's cage is a mess, said Lena. I'll bet, thought Fluffy. Mr. Lee wants to give it a good cleaning, said Lena. Can Kiss have a sleepover with Fluffy tonight? No way, thought Fluffy. Sure, said Miss Day. Lena put Kiss into Fluffy's cage. Kiss ran over to Fluffy's food bowl. She started eating Fluffy's food. Goodbye, supper, thought Fluffy, but he was too excited about apple picking to be mad. Kiss ate every bit of Fluffy's food. Then she ran over to a pile of paper. Hey, that's my bed, said Fluffy. Too bad, said Kiss. Fluffy crawled into his tube. He was not happy that Kiss had taken his bed, but he was too excited about apple picking to be mad. Fluffy closed his eyes, but he could not fall asleep. For one thing, he was hungry, and Kiss was snoring. Honk, brrr, honk, brrr. But that's not what kept Fluffy awake. He was too excited about apple picking to sleep. Fluffy tried counting apples. 1 apple, 2 apple, 3 apples, he counted. But even that did not help. At last the sun came up. Fluffy had been awake all night long. Apples, thought Fluffy. They can wear a pig out. The next chapter is called Kiss Goes Apple Picking. Miss Day and the kids came into the classroom. Emma and Wade ran over to Fluffy's cage. Fluffy doesn't look so good, said Emma. He looks sleepy, said Wade. Kiss looks wide awake, said Wade. Let's take her apple picking too. What? Thought Fluffy. A friend for Fluffy, said Emma. What a good idea. Not really, thought Fluffy. Come on, sleepy Fluffy, said Emma. She picked him up and carried him to the bus. Wade carried Kiss. The bus drove to the orchard. Everyone got out and ran to the apple trees. Fluffy is too sleepy to pick apples, said Emma. Wrong, said Fluffy. You can still have fun, Fluffy, said Emma. You can watch Kiss pick apples. You must be joking, thought Fluffy. Kiss picked another apple. She ate it up. Then she ate another one and another. Too bad you are too sleepy to eat an apple, Fluffy, said Emma. I could never be that sleepy, thought Fluffy. Wade put Kiss into a basket of apples. Have all you want, he said. Kiss started chomping the apples. Fluffy could not believe his eyes. Kiss was an apple-eating machine. Fluffy jumped out of Emma's hands. He ran for the basket of apples. Look out, Kiss, he thought. Here I come. He took a flying leap. He banged into his food bowl. Ow, thought Fluffy. Fluffy, said Emma, are you all right? Fluffy looked around. He was in his cage. He did not see any apples. You were dreaming, said Emma. Fluffy heard a terrible groan. He turned and saw Kiss. She was lying on her back, holding her tummy. Oh, said Kiss, your food made me sick. Kiss doesn't look so good, said Emma. Maybe she ate too much, said Wade. I'll take her back to Mr. Lee. Emma picked up Fluffy. Let's go apple picking, she said. All right, thought Fluffy. Let's go. And the last chapter is called Fluffy Goes Apple Picking. Miss Day's class rode to the orchard. Everyone got off the bus. Fluffy sniffed the air. Smells like apples, he thought. When do we eat? Welcome to Hill Orchard, a man said. I'm Mr. Hill. And who is this? He asked when he saw Fluffy. This is Fluffy, said Emma. He's one fine pig, said Mr. Hill. That's me, thought Fluffy. Mr. Hill picked Fluffy up and put him on his shoulder. One fine pig needs one fine apple, he said. When? Thought Fluffy. How about now? Climb into the wagon, Mr. Hill told the kids. I will pull you to the top of the hill with my tractor. Apples grow best on hilltops. Everyone climbed into the wagon. Go, Mr. Hill, thought Fluffy. Get me to those apples. Mr. Hill drove past a big red barn. I grow Macintosh apples, he said. I grow Fuji apples, too. I also grow a kind called Granny Smith. I'll have one of each, thought Fluffy. Mr. Hill stopped at the top of the hill. Everyone jumped out of the wagon. Mr. Hill passed out baskets. Fill these up with apples, he said. Hey, Mr. Hill, thought Fluffy. How about filling me up with apples? Mr. Hill walked around the orchard. Fluffy rode on his shoulder. Eat while you pick, said Mr. Hill. There is nothing as good as an apple right off the tree. Emma bit into an apple. Chomp! What does a pig have to do around here to get an apple? Thought Fluffy. Okay, pig, said Mr. Hill, your turn. He held Fluffy up to a branch. Fluffy grabbed an apple. He pulled. Nothing happened. He pulled harder. Nothing happened. Fluffy pulled with all his might. All of a sudden, Fluffy slipped out of Mr. Hill's hand. Oops, said Mr. Hill. The branch snapped back fast and the apple went flying. So did Fluffy. Ah! Thought Fluffy. Fluffy landed with a thump. Miss Day turned and saw Fluffy sitting in her apple basket. Fluffy, she said, where did you come from? I'll tell you later, thought Fluffy. Right now I've got an apple to eat. He took a bite. Chomp. Mr. Hill drove everyone down the hill. Miss Day spread a cloth on the ground. She passed around bread and cheese. Mr. Hill poured apple cider. All the kids ate the apples that they had picked themselves. Fluffy did too. He thought. This is one fine picnic. After the picnic, everyone lined up for a picture. Say apples, said Mr. Hill. Wait, said Emma. I have a better idea. Let's say Fluffy. Everyone yelled, Fluffy! It was one fine picture. The end.